Let us begin our worship with these words by Carl Seaberg. Let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together.
Please join in our words to light the chalice. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Please join me also in our covenant reading together. We promise to listen and learn together with compassion, curiosity, and an open mind. Engage in creating a warm and welcoming community, work together and beyond our walls to address social and environmental challenges, and with our time, talent, and treasure, support our church and its mission.
Good morning. Welcome to this virtual service of the Unitarian Church of Hinsdale. My name is Linda Rio, and I'm the worship coordinator here at the church. Our minister, Reverend Pam Romanzik, is on a much-deserved Sunday off of providing worship, but she will be back with us next week. We hope you are doing well and that you and your loved ones are healthy and safe. Holding church virtually takes a village, and I want to thank everyone in our church village who helped make today's service happen. This format requires a bit more prep work than our normal live services, so we're especially grateful to those who meet during the week to get ready for these virtual Sunday services. This week, our worship associate is Rocky Espy. Pam Fodor will be joining us to share her wisdom story, and Jamie Passman and John Cooper Ryder will be providing our lovely music. Our behind the scenes folks, without whom this couldn't have happened, are Kathy Salzano, who's running the PowerPoint, Suzanne Williams and Jean Schaefer, who are making the technology platform work, and Ashley Kennedy, who helped get us up and running. A special welcome and thank you to our guest minister, Reverend Derek Jackson. Reverend Jackson was brave enough to join us on just our third attempt at this virtual service thing. It's been a pleasure to get to know Reverend Jackson a bit this week, and we are very grateful to have him with us this morning to share a message about joy. Reverend Jackson is the Director of Ministries for Lifelong Learning of the UU Ministers Association, and he's an affiliated community minister with Second Unitarian Church. He's one of the authors of the book Centering, Navigating Race, Authenticity, and Power in Ministry. Derek is active in DRUM, the UU Ministry for People of Color. He's also the treasurer and workshop leader for Healing Moments, a ministry for caregiver of people with Alzheimer's. In his free time, Eric likes to knit and be involved in theater. He's married to James Olson, a Unitarian Church of Christ minister, and they live with their two cats, Merlin and Morgana. Welcome, Reverend Jackson. We have some announcements this morning. The church office remains closed for now, but Reverend Pam Fodor, and Linda Liberacki in the office can all be reached through their regular email addresses. They do call in to check phone messages occasionally, but it's quickest to email or call their cell phones. We have a number of ways to connect throughout our congregation right now. Reverend Pam has set up a space on Fridays at noon for folks to drop in and share a virtual lunch with her. The link is in news and notes and also on our website. If you would be willing to set up a time to meet virtually with your fellow church members, contact Linda in the church office and she'll arrange a time slot for you. She'll also help you advertise to invite folks to join you. Since our fair trade table is not able to offer us items in person right now, Debbie is selling books and some other items online and donating 100% of the profits to the church. Her contact information and how to go about ordering is in your news and notes. We also have a group of members making and distributing cloth face masks. So if you either need a mask or could help to make some to donate, contact Tracy Olson. We also have an announcement from our prison ministries group. As many of you know, the COVID-19 situation in our prisons is in a horrible state. Some of our members have been communicating with pen pals and hearing from the inside that things are much worse than the news is reporting. For one thing, even one small bar of Dial soap that each person was given is now gone. Our social justice circle has found a way to send soap to Stateville Correctional and Logan Correctional, two of the institutions that are hit the worst. To provide a small container of soap to each person will be about $900. If you would like to contribute to this effort, you can donate directly to the church and use the byline Soap for Prisoners. If you have any questions, you can contact Kathy Blanford or Tracy Olson or email socialjustice@hinsdaleunitarian.org. Please also check your news and notes for other announcements. After today's service, you can stay on the Zoom meeting and we will have a short time for check-in. It was great last week to see so many familiar faces and to hear how our church members are doing. It is indeed a strange time for everyone. Remember that we are here for you, whatever your need. Please do not hesitate to let us know if you are in need of help of any sort during this time. Please join us now, standing, sitting, or even laying on your couch for our opening hymn, number 29, Joyful, Joyful, with our vocalist John Cooper Ryder and piano by Jamie Passman.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, God of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, hail thee as the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the pain of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the joy of day. All thy works with joy surround the earth, and heaven reflect thy rays. Stars and planets sing around thee, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, blossoming meadow, flashing sea, chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to rejoice in thee. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Ever singing march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music lead us onward in the triumph song of life.
Thank you, John. I'm now going to invite Pam Fodor, our Director of Programs, to share some wisdom for all ages about joy this morning.
Hi, friends. It's so great to be with you today. I have a lovely, lovely story to share with you today, and it's called Joy. It's by Corrine Everest and illustrated by Isabel Foleth. So the story's titled Joy. Fern loved Nana. She loved her butterfly cakes, her mantelpiece mice, and her cat Snowball. But most of all, she loved Nana's smile. But recently, Nana had stopped baking cakes. The mice were dusty, and Snowball was more like a ball of fuzz. Worst of all, Nana hardly ever smiled. She looks sad, doesn't she? What's wrong with Nana? Fern asked her mother. I don't know, Mom replied. It's like the joy has gone out of her life. What's joy? Asked Fern. Joy is what makes your heart happy and your eyes twinkle. Like when we all dance after dinner, or when I get the giggles with Ernie, or when I go whooshing down a slide. Yes, said Mom. It is like a great big whoosh. Nana deserved some whoosh, thought Fern. And if the joy had gone out of Nana's life, then she would bring it back. But where would Fern find it? And how would she carry it to Nana? She searched the house for a catching kit. She found a can and a paper bag and a saucepan. and a box with no lid, and a lid with no box, a fishing net, and a pointy stick. Into Fern's catching bag it all went. That afternoon, Fern and her mother set off for the park. There would be plenty of joy there, she thought. No one would mind if she borrowed a little bit for Nana. Does look like there's a lot of fun going on there. A puppy bounded towards Fern, its floppy ears flying up and down. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Fern giggled. She felt the whoosh of joy. She tried to catch the bounce, but the bounce wouldn't go in the box. On the swing, a baby chuckled each time her daddy tickled her feet. Tickle, tickle, chuckle, chuckle. Fern chuckled too. She felt that whoosh of joy, so she tried to catch the chuckles. Then she tried to catch the tickles, but neither the chuckles nor the tickles would go into the can. When Fern reached the duck pond, a shimmer of sparkles rippled across the water, and Fern smiled. She felt that whoosh of joy. Nana would love this, she thought. So she tried to catch the sparkles, first with her fishing net and then with the paper bag. Finally, with a scoop of her saucepan. But the sparkles just disappeared. Finding joy was easy, she thought, but catching it was hard. Fern walked home with heavy feet. She loved Nana and she wanted to bring the joy back into her life, but her catching bag was empty. When she got to Nana's house, Nana was snoozing in her chair. Fern laid her head on Nana's arm. "What's the matter?" asked Nana. "Well, I wanted to catch you some joy, but I couldn't," said Fern sadly. So Fern told Nana all about the joy that she had seen. To Fern's surprise, Nana smiled. It was the biggest, widest whoosh of a smile that Fern had ever seen. "You don't need a can or a box or a net to bring me joy," Nana said. "You bring me all the joy in the world just by being you." The next day, Fern took Nana to the park. Whoosh! Together, they found joy in all the most unusual places. And this time, Fern's catching bag was full to the brim of joy and Nana's delicious butterfly cakes. The end. Thanks so much for sharing this story with me today. And I hope that you can find a whoosh of joy this week by doing some things with your family or going outside, or maybe going to the park if there aren't too many people. If you'd like to join me on Thursday at 4:30, we'll have our kids' conversation time on Zoom. I would love to hear about the whooshes that you found during the week and just to see your smiling faces. So thanks everyone for sharing the story with me. Take care of each other and be well.
Thank you, Pam. It was awesome to see your smiling face today too. We come now to the place in the service to make space for quiet and inner peace. This reading is from a meditation to invoke joy. You don't have to work for happiness. It's already here to be experienced in every moment. Use this practice to rediscover your natural connection with joy. The more you practice invoking states of well-being, the more available they are. You can teach your mind and body to experience joy in the moment. As you invite happiness into your life in this way, you will have more access to a joyful life. Get comfortable now, and if you wish, close your eyes. Become aware of your breath and breathe slowly and deeply. Breathe in relaxation and a sense of ease. Let go of any tension as you exhale. Let the warmth of relaxation flow through your whole body, from your head all the way down to your feet. Find your own way to the still, quiet center of your being, with your body relaxed, your emotions calm, your mind peaceful and spacious. Think of a time when you experienced great joy and well-being, perhaps when you were in a beautiful place or with a good friend. Recall your experience with as much detail as you can. If possible, bring an image of that moment to mind. What was happening? What was the environment like? Were you alone or with others? What sights or sounds can you remember? Remember how the experience of well-being or joy felt in your body. Did your body feel light, energetic, expansive? What did joy feel like in your mind? Did your mind feel open, present, clear? Take a few moments to let your awareness feel the sensations in your body and the mood in your mind. Let them fully register as you breathe in this feeling of well-being. Relax into it with each exhalation. Practice calling up this image and the feelings of well-being regularly each day for 1 week. At times, you may find you can simply invoke and sustain those feelings of well-being without having to create the specific memory. Use this practice whenever you are feeling stuck and want to shift to a more uplifted state of mind, or simply want to open yourself to joy. Thus ends the meditation reading. Now, if you have an extra candle at home, I invite you to light it for any intentions weighing or dancing on your heart this morning. You can share anything you wish to in the chat box, a joy, a concern, or let us know if you need support from your church community. Join us now in singing one verse of Spirit of Life, sung by John Cooper Ryder.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Our first reading is Go Play by Reverend Marisol Caballero. Among my circle of friends, there's an ongoing inside joke to quote song lyrics that give terrible advice. Among them are, don't cry out loud, hold it inside, learn how to hide your feelings. Another example, smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. In our Eurocentric American culture, outward displays of emotion other than happiness are taboo. Women especially are taught that anger is unacceptable or unladylike. Just listen to how country singer Miranda Lambert sings about her mother's rebuffed advice. Go and fix your makeup, girl, it's just a breakup. Run and hide your crazy and start acting like a lady, 'cause I raised you better. Gotta keep it together even when you fall apart. But this ain't my mama's broken heart. Of course, it's not just women who feel the pressure to control their difficult emotions. Men are pressured to be manly about how they express theirs too. There are definitely acceptable and unacceptable means of expressing sadness, anger, frustration, or any other emotion that's deemed unpleasant. When our emotions boil the lid off those repressed feelings, we risk behaving in regrettable ways with the people we love most. There exists, however, a growing body of scientific and anecdotal evidence that it's possible to fake it till we make it on our way to happiness. That such faking doesn't deny the full range of our human emotional experience. Studies tell us there's a connection between the upward movement of the corners of our mouth, i.e. smiling, and the production of serotonin in the brain. Maybe this is why nowadays my therapist ends most sessions by telling me the same thing my mom used to shout at us whiny, bored kids on long summer days. Go play. To play is to pretend. And honestly, sometimes the world seems too heavy to leave the house, let alone inspire moments of joy. But the more I watch the news these days, the more I'm coming to view playing, intentionally seeking joy as a means of radical resistance. And I'll continue to laugh with my friends at songs that deliver terrible emotional advice. Thus ends the reading.
My friends, it is good to be with you in these difficult times. I don't know about you, but when I started this year, I had this vision that this was going to be a better year than last year. And well, it hasn't turned out to be as great as I had hoped. It has been hard. This last month has been really difficult. And in these times, in times that are hard and difficult and soul searching and fear, we need joy. We need something to take us out of these difficulties, to help us find a way to move forward, to make it through another day. And joy can inspire us. It can hold us. It can make it feel possible just to keep moving on. And one of the ways that we find joy is by playing. As adults, I think we need to claim play. Too often, play is put into the realm of children. something that you have to let go of as you grow up. Uh, it doesn't seem to fit into the idea of adulting. But I think play is essential, even as adults. I love in the reading when Marisol says, to play is to pretend. And honestly, sometimes the world seems too heavy to leave the house, let alone inspire moments of joy. But the more I watch the news these days, the more I'm coming to view playing, intentionally seeking joy, as a means of radical resistance. What Marisol is saying here is that in the midst of all the things, and she wrote this several years ago, and it feels completely relevant today, that as you're looking at all that's happening in the news, in your Facebook feeds, and social media, all social media, email, and all the things that we're bombarded with, that one way to resist these difficult messages, these messages that tend to lead us towards isolation, um, one way to resist that is to seek joy, to play. I think is why people are finding ways to play online. So that even in this time of social distancing, we are still connecting, we are still playing, we are finding joy. So what can we do? What is play? What are the ways we can play? So one of the ways that we can play is to create something, to make something new. So, this can be to uh, with take Lego blocks and make some sort of structure. It can be, for me, it's knitting. For some people, like to crochet or make collages or draw or paint, write stories, find ways to create something. That's a sort of play. We can also go into the realm of games, whether it's card games or board games or computer games or role-playing games. Just find a way to play, whether you're playing solitaire or you are playing online with someone else or with your family. Finding time to enjoy the game and let it take you somewhere. We can also use our imagination. This is the time we can have a fancy dinner party, even if it's just us in the house, or we can read a book and just let it take our minds into whatever realm the story takes place, or build forts in our living rooms. Uh, Imagine that we are someplace else, but just allow ourselves, our minds to take it where it will. Our minds are nimble organs and they can really move us in different ways. And when we play, one thing that I notice is that I lose a sense of time. Like time completely passes and I have no idea what has happened. And that is a part of that joy. That is a part of that play, is to when we're able to just relax into what we are doing and let everything move by. And a funny thing is that that is also one of the high marks of spirituality, of the being in this place where you are in that spiritual presence and you are so in that moment that you aren't paying attention to what is going on. You are completely present. Which says to me that play is spiritual. That we are in that moment, that we are so focused on what we are doing, that we let all the troubles of the world just pass us by, but are completely present. That is play. That is spiritual work, spiritual play. And so once we are playing and having joy, one of the things that happens is that we tend to smile. Uh, Studies show that smiling triggers the release of chemicals in your brain that causes relaxation, pain relief, and serves as an antidepressant. So basically, smiling is good for you. And so I like to smile as much as I can to get all of those chemicals going in my brain, to relax myself, to feel better. And when you smile, see, smiling is addictive. So once you smile, it's very hard for someone seeing you smile to not smile back. And so we catch smiling person to person. And then sometimes that smile kind of builds and builds, and we start to laugh. And that laugh can just, I think of laughing sometimes as exercising our insides. It's kind of like an inner massage. And so that laughing just pulls all of that joy and lets it come out. And that also uh, it connects from person to person, that you start laughing. It's very hard to not laugh when you're in a room with someone who is laughing. And in fact, there have been some scientific studies done that have shown that they showed people pictures of people smiling, and they were told to keep you know, a neutral face. And they found that it was almost impossible for people to look at pictures of people smiling and not smile themselves. And so smiling is something that we can share and give to one another that helps spread a little joy from one person to another. And we don't have to be in the same room for that. Just seeing each other on a computer screen can share some of that smiling, or talking on the phone and laughing can share some of that joy as well. It can be a spiritual practice to play, to find joy. And spiritual practices are things that can get us through these difficult times, times like we are living in now. And so if we can find those moments of joy, whether it's creating something new, or imagining or playing games, or sometimes it's just in those moments with another person whom we love that brings us joy. Like in the wisdom story. If we can find those moments and hold on to them, they can carry us through these times when it is scary to even leave our own house, and we can only leave in certain circumstances. And so to be separated, we need to find those places of joy. Anais Nin writes that joy appears now in the little things. The big things remain tragic, but a leaf fluttered in through the window this morning, as if supported by the rays of the sun. A bird settled on the fire escape. Joy in the taste of coffee. Joy accompanied me as I walked to the press. The secret of joy is the mastery of pain. My friends, in these times, in these difficult, hard times, may we find joy. And if we don't have that joy in us, may we even try smiling to help lift up our spirits, to help us move through these next days, these next weeks, to know that we will get through. Let us play together. Let us have joy. Let us smile. Let us laugh. Let us rest in love as we go forward. Blessed be.
Thank you, Reverend Jackson, and thank you, Jamie. As I said at the beginning, we're learning about this tech virtual service, and we were just informed that you all can see all of us all the time. So welcome to our homes. We're glad that we got to see each other and that you got to see all of us. And we are learning every week. So we will see if next week we can fix that, but thank you all for your patience as we all walk through this together. We're gathering today because the support of this church and our community means so much to each of us, and even more so in the challenging times we are facing right now. Please join me as we say our offering words together, which are on your screen. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with the world. This church is made up of all of us. So I ask you if it is at all possible, with all the uncertainty and ambiguity in the world right now, to continue supporting its work. There is a donate button on the front page of our website, which you can see on the slide. It takes you to our donate page. If you can give some amount to the work of this community, we will be immensely grateful. As we do once a month, today is a special social justice collection. This month, we are supporting the work of the Best Friends Animal Society, whose mission is to bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets. If you would like to donate to this cause, you can send a check to the office, noting that it should go to Best Friends, or you can use the online donate button and include their name in the comment section. Even in the midst of ambiguity and uncertainty, we do have to have some number in order to create next year's budget. Thanks to everyone who has sent in your pledges. If you haven't, please mail or email it to the office as soon as you can. If you're not sure what's going on with your finances, you're welcome to contact Reverend Pam or a board member. Also, as part of the work of our church, if you need help, please let us know. We can help donors connect anonymously with folks who are struggling financially or for other reasons. We do also have a UCH emergency relief fund that's available for anyone in need. It's not large, but it's there. If you'd like to add to it, let Reverend Pam know. If you need assistance, let her know. The church is here for all of our members. I now invite Rocky to share our final reading.
Our second reading is First Day of School by Nita Penfold. No matter what they tell you, let it be about joy. Let it be about the sacred. Self-surviving, no thriving, shining its way to the knowledge within. Let it be about blooming, the unfolding of the universe through you. Because the story of you begins 15 billion years ago with that first flash of being. Thus ends the reading. Please rise in spirit or body to join in singing our closing hymn, number 368. Now let us sing. John Cooper Ryder will lead us and the words will be on your screen.
Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the faith within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing to the power of the hope within. Sing to the power of the hope within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the hope within. Sing to the power of the love within. Sing to the power of the love within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the love within. Sing to the power of the joy within. Sing to the power of the joy within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the joy within.
Please join in unison the words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment, those we carry in our hearts to share with all the world.
Thich Nhat Hanh says, sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. May you smile often. May you engage in play. May you feel joy. Blessed be.
you.